The following examples are letters that are issued by the Ministry of Public Service. They would show what a letter of appointment under delegated powers look like. It would show what a reclassification letters look like. And I'm hoping there's a promotion letter there that you can also see, because everyone wants to be promoted. So what we have here is a formal letter of appointment. This one here, you see it would have the crest, and it has the address of the public service. It has the reference, which is MPS 3901, which is the reference if you want to inquire on a particular letter. You would say, this is the reference and this is the date that the letter was done. And it's in reference to whoever the inquiry is coming from. So this is a letter, again, under delegated powers, which means that this person was hired by the establishment secretary, who is the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Public Service. The establishment secretary or the permanent secretary is the only officer who has delegated powers to appoint officers in the public service. This appointment is as a clerk, and then you would see the scale, which is C4, and the job type. This person is being appointed on 12 months probation and at an entry salary for clerical at this time, which is $13,950. The letter would also have that during this appointment, you will be subject to the rules and regulations applicable to the public service. And of course, we give you an option to sign this letter, or you could decline the offer. But if you accept the offer, we're asking that you return within 1 month's receipt thereof. Actually, your department head should return within 1 month's receipt thereof. So this is another letter of under delegated power. This is one for a security assistant. The scale is M6. The job type is 910021. And this person is being appointed on temporary month-to-month terms that I spoke about earlier, and at a salary of $13,700, which is the minimum wage for the government at this time. Okay, what we have here is an appointment on a 12 months probation. You would see appointment as a filing assistant, the the job type number that is listed on every letter, and the scale, which is M6. Now, the difference between this and a delegated power letter is that you would see by order number /022. Now, every order that is prepared by the Public Service Commission would have a number, which means at that particular time, for example, if an order is prepared today and they are at 1002, your matter is 1002. Then it would say by order number 1002 over 2022, dated the date that the Excellency would have received and signed it. And then the date that the Public Service Commission advised of the recommendation. We also have here, you see this line which says this supersedes the letter of appointment. Well, this person was formally appointed by the permanent secretary or the establishment secretary. So once it goes to the commission, the Public Service Commission supersedes the establishment appointment, because the Public Service Commission authority is greater than the establishment secretary in terms of appointment, because their appointments are enshrined in the Constitution. You would also see in this letter a progression, what we call a salary progression. The salary progression you see start at $13,700 from the 1st of July 2016. Why this progression is being prepared is, if you look at the very top, the date of this letter is in 2022. So what we do is we would show the individual, this is how your salary progressed from the date you were appointed or the year you were appointed. So the person was appointed in 2016, and it shows the progression currently up to 2021. What we have here is actually a local contract, okay? This person has been awarded a contract as an administrative associate in the Ministry of Public Service. It has for the period the 7th of July 2022 to the 29th of August 2024. The salaries are usually fixed, meaning that even though the contract is for more than 1 year, they will not be receiving any increments. Their salary would remain for the entire contractual period, and after that period, once the employment was satisfactory, meaning that their performance was satisfactory, they met the expectation of that ministry, then they would be granted a 15% gratuity, which is based on the 20,000 times the number of years, which must be more than 2 years, times the 15%. So at the expiration of their contract, this person, the contract is for 2 years, so the person would get 40,000 times 15% at the end of the contract. Here is also a local contract. This one is for 3 years, and the example this one shows is actually the job description is contained in this contract. So this is the difference. It's the same terms, but this example or template shows that the job description is in the letter of offer, and that's what we call them, letter of offer. So that's the only difference. What we have here is the Memorandum on Conditions of Service on Contract in the Bahamas and in bracket local. These are actually a part or a package of the letter of offer that we spoke about earlier. The first one speaks to that the position is non-pensionable, meaning a contract officer is not permanent and pensionable, and that they are subject to the rules and regulation that governs the public service as far as they are applicable to the contract officer. Number 2 speaks to the duties, which is outlined in the contract. The number 3 speaks to the salary, which is fixed. 4, the gratuity that we spoke about earlier. 5 is the medical attention, which is free medical attention for public officers, but not their family. And the free medical attention is only at the Princess Margaret Hospital, and what is being offered by the Princess Margaret officers to government employees. And number 6 is the vacation leave. Vacation leave comes in 3, 4, or 5 weeks, but based on this person's salary, they are eligible for 5 weeks. So number 7 is the termination of engagement. This speaks to separation, the officer's separation from his employment. If the officer determines that he wished to give to leave, or if the government wished the officer to be disengaged, a 3 months notice must be given. If a 3 months notice is not given, then the government would have, if the government is the one terminating the employment, the government would have to give the officer 1 month's salary in lieu of notice. If the officer is terminating the employment, the same thing applies. You would have to pay the government 1 month's salary in lieu of notice. And this number 7 is currently under amendment. Then we have number 8, ill health. It speaks to you're eligible for 20 working days sick leave per year. And that is usually breaking up into 6 call-in and 14 days with medical. But if for some reason you need a longer period with medical and you have not exhausted your 6 call-in, you could use the 6 call-in in addition to your 14, and all of those days would be medical sick leave. And we have the termination, which is actually where the government can terminate based on an employee's misconduct, and that's without notice. This is a reclassification. We spoke about appointments, but this is now a reclassification. The same type of format where you would have the individual's post, which is a filing assistant, the job type, and the step. But what I want to bring to your attention is at the reclassification line, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 at 13,250. I want you to see that this person is being reclassified on the 26th of December 2021. And if you see the difference in salary, it is less than an increment the person would have been received.